Alright, so today we have a mid fade, a kind of low mid fade, and this is gonna be a transformation. This guy came in with a really bushy head, and we're gonna fix him up. So right here we're starting off. We started off by sectioning the hair in a horseshoe section, and we're gonna clear bulk with our number 5 guard, and we're just gonna clear all that bulk uh, till we hit up to the parietal ridge. We're gonna leave uh, some weight on the parietal ridge because later on we are gonna come in and touch that up. But for right now, what we're doing is clearing bulk with our number 5 guard. I put my heart in you only for that. I don't know what I can do. Okay, right after that, we're gonna come in and set our bald line, and it's gonna, since it is a mid fade, it's gonna be right there where the curve of the C cup begins, and we're gonna drop it slightly in the back behind the ear, slightly, just to contour the shape of the customer's head, the client's head. This is our final goodbyes. You should know that I'm weak without you. Without you here, I don't know what to do. You should know that I need. And now that we've set our bald line, what we're gonna do is come in with our number 2 guard open, and again we're just gonna clear some more bulk. This isn't necessarily setting in a guideline, but we are trying to not leave a harsh line closer to that weight on the parietal ridge. But for the most part, we're just clearing bulk right now with our number 2 guard, because we are going to come back with another guard right after it. And right there you see me going down with the grain with the same number 2 guard, and that's just so that weight on the parietal ridge softens up and just sits a bit better. But again, for the most part, we're just clearing bulk right now with the number 2 guard. Baby, give me your hand, give me your hand right now. Show you the way, I'ma show you how. I'm taking you high, never bring you down. I get so excited when you're in town. Without you here, I don't know what to do. And now what we're gonna do is set our first guideline, which is going to be the lever all the way open, just the blade, no guard, lever all the way open. That's our first guideline, and this guideline is going to be fairly thick. We're gonna do about an inch width, an inch size guideline, and that's just so that we have enough space to blend out that guideline, that bald line between that lever open and the bald. And as you can see, we're going straight into erasing that bald line. And again, we all know we want to start off with our blade, with our lever halfway, and do that all along the bald line, and then we're gonna go ahead and start to play with the lever after we've done that. The higher we go, remember, the more you want to open it. The lower we go, then the more you want to close it, to fully erase that bald line. So once again, it's just playing with your lever, and remember to use a flick out technique, a flick out motion technique whenever erasing any guideline. But again, it's just playing with your lever till that entire bald line is blended out. From the Lord.
Yo, your beauty is incredible, impeccable, and perfect, but you left me feeling terrible and thinking I was worthless. Not cause you were rude and mean, I couldn't stop your hurting, so I'm glad you took your love away, cause I didn't deserve it. Like, how was I to love you when I couldn't love myself? I've been locked inside my room, questioning my mental health, tired of crying and then whining about the cards that I was dealt. My mind's been
and now we're setting our second guideline with the 1.5, and we're just going right into that 2 that we did in the beginning. So we're setting our second guideline with the 1.5 open. We're starting off with the 1.5 open, and then right under what we do with the 1.5 open, we're just gonna come back and hit it with the 1.5 close, right under what we do with the 1.5 open. And remember, this is our second guideline. Future holds, hoping that you coming back, but got no way to know. You keep on posting all these pics with you and different guys, but I can tell you're still alone from the look in your eyes. And now, like Sid did say, we're gonna return to that bulk on the parietal ridge, and now we're taking our 2 guard open, and now this is where we're gonna touch into that bulk, And again, it's not to really set a guideline, it's just more to have a smoother blend, a smoother transition into the bulk. And we're doing this with our two open. We're starting off with our two open, and then we're gonna come back under it just like we did with the 1.5. We're gonna come back under that two open with the two close.
Do you want my soul, girl?
And again, you're gonna see me go down with the grain on that weight. And again, that's just to soften it up and help it lay a bit better.
That's ever been told. I don't want this to go down, yeah. I don't want you to go now, yeah.
And then we're gonna come back with our 1.5 guard to hit in between that 2 and the 1.5 that we did initially, and that's just to clean up any line should, in case any line was done, that's just to clean it up. And now what we're going to do is just going to really detail that bulk with our blending shears and just kind of touch it up to soften it up so that it lays better and has a nice transition.
I know that my heart is fragile, it's something that you can't just ease through.
And now what we're going to do is essentially fade down, because now we know that all we're doing is fading into a 1.5. So we're going to start off with our number 1 guard with the lever open, because all we know is that we're fading into a 1.5 now, and we're gonna fade down. So we're starting off with the 1.5 lever with the 1 guard lever open, and then right under that we're gonna come in with the 1 guard lever closed.
Without you, ain't nothing that I can do. Yes, I just really miss you. Yes, I just really miss you. You're way too good for me.
And now under that 1 guard we're gonna come in with our half guard, 1/16 guard. And again, we're gonna start off with the lever halfway with that half guard and just touch it up. And again, the higher you go, the more we open our lever, the lower we go, the more we close our lever. The last guideline is completely erased.
I get so excited when you're in town. Without you here, I don't know what to do. You should know that I need you.
I remember you need to all these steps, all these motions, all these steps will be repeated all around the head, so we have a very even and consistent fade. And right now we're just taking our liners and touching up on the C cup. We're just doing a rough draft because we are going to come back with the straight razor and finish detailing that C cup.
I know that my heart is fragile, it's something that you can't just ease through. This is our final goodbyes, you should know that I'm weak.
Like I said, now we're coming with the straight razor. Make sure, always remember to make sure to moisturize your client's skin before putting the straight razor on it, just to reduce any irritation and any bumps or anything like that. And remember guys, we want to keep our line up, our sequence pretty natural most of the time. We never want to push people back, because we know natural lineup gives her a natural, smoother, neat grow back process. And now getting into the hard part, we're just gonna slightly touch up the top of his hair, the top of his hair, because he didn't want a lot off. And so what we're actually essentially not cutting anything off from the top. And what we're gonna do is section the hair in a triangular shape, you can see, so that we have the sides coming over, just so that we can kind of connect it with the work we did on the side, so it doesn't have such a hard disconnection. So we're just gonna touch up the sides. So that's all we're gonna do with the top, because he essentially didn't want anything off the top. But I suggested that we should try to blend in the sides just a bit, so that it doesn't have such a harsh disconnection.
Wishing you would come and save me. You've been looking kind of fine, but you look better as my baby. Yes, I was wondering myself.
And when we're done with the scissor work on top, we're gonna blow dry his hair and put some product in there. I believe I put a paste or a clay. Actually, I put a paste in his hair after the blow dry, just to bring out his texture, his waves and curls.
You're still alone from the look in your eyes. Yeah, from the look in your eyes. Yeah, from the look in your eyes.
And I forgot to mention, but this client also requested that we do a design, and he showed me a picture from an Instagram haircut, and I suggested to him that we do our own take on the design and not copy it one for one. So that's what we're doing, and it is quite a difficult design. So I made sure to take my time to make it as neat as possible, and as clean as possible. So yeah.
No, girl, I guess that's just how it goes. Every love story that's ever been told. I don't want this to go down, yeah. I don't want you to go now, yeah. I guess we'll go down our own fucking paths. I'll think about you and dawn on the past. Feel like a joke, but no.
This particular client, he really enjoys his designs. I introduced it to him, I think about 2 haircuts back, and ever since, each haircut that he comes for, he actually asks for a different design each time. So it's always fun haircuts when it's this particular client.
I know that my heart is fragile, it's something that you can't just ease through. This is our final goodbyes, you should know that I'm weak without you. Without you here, I don't know what to do, you should know that I need you. I wasn't open, I guess I was hoping that I wasn't see-through. I know that my heart is fragile, it's something that you can't just ease through. This is our final goodbyes, you should know that I'm weak.
And most obviously what we're doing here is just outlining our design with our liners, our trimmers, just making a rough draft, because just similarly to doing a lineup, we are coming back with our straight razor to make it as sharp and as clean as possible. So don't worry about getting the thickness down right away with the liners, because we can easily detail and make it thicker with our straight razor. Because what we don't want to do is make it thick with the liners, and then when we come with the straight razor, we end up detailing it so much that it comes out even thicker than we wanted. So it's just a rough draft and just an outline with the liners, and then the detailing part is with the straight razor. And that's what we're doing now. And again, similarly to the lineup, we want to make sure to really moisturize this area, because these are parts that aren't that used to being touched with the straight razor, so they do get irritated quite easily. So we want to make sure to moisturize these areas quite a lot whenever we're doing designs, and we're gonna finalize it with the straight razor. So now we're done, we're finishing styling his hair with that design. So this is the before, guys, and look at the after. Very clean, much needed transformation. Thank you for watching.